Hey, so I just got done playing the Active Matter demo, and I wanted to share my thoughts about my experience with this game. I'm going to have some of my gameplay from the playing I've done so far running in the background, and I'm just going to let you know if you should be looking out for this game, if you should be interested in this game, and what I genuinely think of this title. Now, a little bit of a teaser for my conclusion that I'll get to at the end of this video. I'm actually speechless and kind of depressed. And I'm not speechless in a good way. I'll say that much. I'm going to try and remain as neutrally emotionally as I can and not just say all the negatives about this game. I'm going to try and talk whatever the word is for non-biased. I will preface this by saying that I did have a few biases going into playing this game, but I wanted to go in as open-minded as possible and try it out before I, made a video about this game with those pre-notions. Sorry if I ramble a bit and I get stuck on my words. I'm looking for the correct words for this review or whatever. Let's start with the graphics. I mean, the graphics, they look okay. They look fine. I won't get too deep into graphics because I'm not really a big graphics gamer. It's not the main thing for me. But the game has an atmosphere and it has an okay, unique-ish look. I guess, not that I've played Stalker, but it's kind of similar. The game is a bit dark though, which makes you use a flashlight, which I assume would give your position away to real players. The tutorial was alright. It taught me how to walk and how to shoot and to press F to loot, and taught me about anomalous zones, which is the anti-gravity walls you can walk up, which should be the main selling point of this game. Is they really need to all in on the anomaly stuff. Otherwise, I don't think that this is really going to separate itself from just another mil-simmy kind of shooter. But so actually getting into the gameplay, I will say, to be as fair as possible, this isn't exactly my kind of game. This kind of Escape from Tarkov, super realistic, where I had to reload individual bullets into my magazines, and the healing takes a minute, it takes 2 minutes. You go through 7 syringes or whatever healing. The gunplay is kind of awkward. You have quite a far back view from your iron sights, but again, maybe this is just completely normal for this genre, and I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing. I don't know what the point is. You because the game, I'll just say this now, the game didn't tell me anything. It really didn't explain anything to me about what I needed to do. I just had to figure it out. I had to press M and tab a lot to see my inventory and look at the objectives I had and go to the different areas on the map that were labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It told me nothing. And then the fighting the PvE monsters is very weird. I realized later on in my play session that you should try and headshot them, but it's kind of odd because you're like a clunky kind of realistic soldier, and then these distorted enemies and these invisible ones are teleporting around and appearing above you and jumping at crazy speeds, which is kind of feels weird with how not sluggish, but real milsim, the player movement and the how your aiming movement feels. It just feels a bit disconnected, and I was getting swarmed by lots and lots of enemies, and it just felt weird. It didn't feel like it was finished, which obviously I don't think the game is, right? But I don't know, my biggest reference for this game is Hunt Showdown, which is another extraction shooter. It doesn't lean as heavily into the looting loads of different things and picking up loads of different things to put in your backpack. Hunt Showdown is more of an extraction shooter where you need to go to the boss, kill the boss, and extract with the boss token, which gives you all the money, and you can loot other players for equipment and take their weapons if they have more expensive or rarer weapons. So it's still an extraction shooter, but the PvE in Hunt Showdown is super solid. It's so refined. Every enemy type is very unique from each other, and they have different ways and lots of different ways to deal with them. Loud ways using your gun, using a melee is a bit quieter, avoiding them completely. But Active Matter kind of just felt like the enemies were just a bit random. And they all just kind of do the same thing, it's just run at you. And I didn't understand what the electric, like, floating balls were. If you go near them, they'll blow up and send you flying. There was also some sort of shadow figure sending out, like, a black, like, tendril that was flying around. And the game didn't tell me anything about how these enemies worked or what they did. The atmosphere building up to some of the stuff was like cool, with the flower men that suddenly appear you just think it's a bunch of flowers, they just appear and start running at you. So yeah, the PvE of this game really needs a lot of work. Also, I am a massive not a fan of the AI soldiers shooting you with guns. It's very confusing. It just doesn't really work in these kind of games for the PvE aspect to shoot at you with range. Like ranged weapons. That should be very limited to like telegraph attacks you can dodge, or like the hive in Hunt Showdown where it sends out a swarm of bees that you can run away from the bees, or you can punch the bees to disperse the swarm, or the I don't remember the name, the immolators, where I'm pretty sure they have like an attack where they send a fireball at you, but it's very telegraphed and you can get out of the way. But yeah, so I'm not a fan of like hit scan gun type enemies. There was one moment where I got swarmed by like 5 invisible guys, 8 flower men, and then I got shot at by like 2 or 3 soldiers and I just died. And I just felt like there was nothing I could do, because it was like, why am I being swarmed by so many enemies? So the PvE needs a lot of work, I think. I don't think it makes any sense, and it's very unrefined. Onto the player versus player, I would love to give you an opinion of the PvP in this game, but I'm pretty sure that every agent, which is the players that I ran into, was a bot. Now, the game at no point ever tried to tell me they were bots, but I could tell from their movement and how they acted that they were a bit weird. And then the funny thing is, you can collect players' dog tags to see their name, and I checked the names of all 5 players that I came across, 3 which I killed, 1 which is a dead body which I found in my first raid, and then the 5th we'll get to. But the first 4 names I searched up in the enlisted bot name, like spreadsheet, and I found all 4 of them. They were enlisted name, like for bots. So I found 4 bot players. I fought 1 team of 3, which ran at me in straight lines and didn't really shoot back. So those were definitely bots. And there was a dead bot that I found the body of and looted a bit. And then the 5th player that I killed kind of seemed like a bot. Could have just been a new player walking in a straight line. I couldn't tell if they were shooting me or not. You might see them pop up in the footage at some point. But yeah, I couldn't find their name on the bot list. But so are they a real player or are they a bot? They could have new bot names, so that why they just didn't show up there, I don't know. But I found 4 bots and 1 maybe player. The PvP aspect I can't really talk about because there was none. The game didn't give me player matches. I even spoke to somebody else who'd been playing a lot more, and they said to play Scrapyard and Military Base to find players, and there was 1 guy in the lobby that might have been a real player. So I cannot comment at all on the PvP in this game, which I think is where these games shine, right? I'm not here to wander around an empty map for 20 minutes killing AI and then extracting. That's really boring. Especially when the PvE is as unrefined as this game is. So, yeah, the PvP should be the main focus. I really didn't feel like this game was doing anything insanely crazy to separate itself from the market. This game should be leaning as hard as possible into the gimmick of player versus player fighting in an anomalous zone where the gravity is flipped, or there's portals to teleport to places, or you can blend in with the environment and stuff like that. If they're just going to try and stick to the more grounded gameplay, why wouldn't I just play Tarkov? Or why wouldn't I just play any of the other extraction shooters that are coming out right now? I'm just very worried. I just don't know what the plan is here. This is very reminiscent of the battle royale boom where everybody was trying to make a battle royale. We see Fortnite and PUBG popped off after the likes of DayZ and Minecraft Hunger Games. Then Fortnite and PUBG pop off, and then everybody tries to make a battle royale. We see Counter-Strike makes a battle royale, nobody cares. Call of Duty makes a battle royale, it kind of doesn't work, until eventually with Warzone people cared. EA made a battle royale that didn't work. Apex Legends comes out, that was a success, but it's one of the few of the tens or 20s of casualties of other AAA game devs trying to make a battle royale. And now we're seeing it with an extraction shooter boom. Guess who made an extraction shooter that nobody cares about? Call of Duty. Another extraction shooter that came out, Crysis, the Cycle Frontier, just died. It's full of cheaters. There's a massive boom now of extraction shooters trying to leech off the back of the success of stuff like Tarkov. Dark and Darker is an example. And the market... When you're trying to enter a market like this, you need to be the best game on the market. Otherwise, nobody will care. This is just my, as honest as I can be, feedback to Gaijin and Darkflow Software. Why are you guys trying to make this game? It's not going to work. Number one, you're not Escape from Tarkov. You should not be charging the same price as Escape from Tarkov. If you look at the other games people are excited for, such as Beautiful Light and Arena Breakout, those are free to play. Okay? You cannot compete with Escape from Tarkov with a $30 game that you're claiming the price tag is to eliminate the cheater, is a cheater deterrent. That doesn't work. You know what a cheater deterrent is? Anti-cheat. This is really getting off topic here, but okay, so you need to succeed in this market as a novice looking in, you need gameplay that stands out. This game doesn't stand out. It does not leaning hard enough into the anomalous zones. It's not leaning hard enough into the weird aspect of it. Number two, cheaters are going to happen because this is an extraction shooter, which means there is a real money trading market, right? If you don't want the Chinese online gaming mafia to invade your game and cheat and team and trade for money, you need insane anti-cheat and a very active team of moderators moderating the player base to ban those people quickly. Your game is not going to do better than Tarkov because it's not Tarkov. The gameplay is not good enough yet. It needs a lot of refinement. You're going to need a very good anti-cheat, which from my understanding of War Thunder and Enlisted, you have anti-cheat, but it's not cutting-edge anti-cheat. So good luck there. Number three, this demo, which is run, I'm recording this on the 26th/27th. It's past midnight for me now. This demo runs until the 29th. Why do I only get to play for 1 hour? And then you hit me with a pop-up of buy the $30 expansion, or buy the $60 version, or buy the $90 version. Did you really think that an hour of me wandering around in your empty game with no telling me what to do against AI players was going to amaze me so much that I'm immediately going to give you $30 to keep playing? Why is this demo time gated for an hour? This is a joke, and this is part of my feeling. I'm so depressed, and I really wanted to give this game a chance to be as fair as possible, but all that I've been shown is that we are killing Enlisted, which is a game I really enjoy, but I'm starting to not enjoy as much because the content updates are empty, because I think you're trying to claim that you have equal developer teams working on Enlisted and Active Matter, but that is clearly just not the case, because the Enlisted updates have been empty. These major updates have been disappointing, and the events have been shocking for the last year and a half. But anyway, we're killing Enlisted for this. The Enlisted is dying for this. Really. A game that is trying to break into an impenetrable market is not leaning hard enough into its niche, which is the anomaly zones, and just is trying to be Tarkov, but we built it in the Daegor engine or something. I'm really bewildered. I would be very aware of this game and beware. If you hear what I'm saying beware. Beware this game. I don't know if this game deserves your money yet, play the 1 hour beta, play the 1 hour demo right now that's out right now. See if this is the type of game for you. I will mention it again. This is not particularly my type of game, the Milsim kind of Tarkov game. I much prefer the towards arcadey kind of shooters, although I do play Hunt Showdown, which isn't specifically arcade. It's more like grounded realism with like elements of arcade, but I just think a game like Hunt Showdown is worth a lot more of your money. There's just so much more skill and learning that you can do, and the game tries to teach you those things. And the game like runs you through like mock raids. The tutorial I played, it's not a raid, it's just like a 5-minute walkthrough of a building. Yeah. I'm really sorry there's not a lot of direction in this video. I just needed to get my criticism out there and just talk about how empty this demo made me feel. Brutally honest review. There are good aspects. You should play the demo for yourself, the 1 hour demo, unbelievable 1 hour demo. You should play it for yourself, because I can tell that some of the aspects are there, that if this is your type of game, you would probably enjoy it a lot more than me. But man, like the pacing was just all over the place. It's very slow, but then randomly very hectic. You just stumble into like 7 PvE enemies. And the only way to deal with the PvE enemies is to shoot them, which makes a lot of noise, which in the gameplay would attract PvP players, but obviously I never got to experience that because you only gave me 1 hour demo against AI. Yeah, I would rate this game like a 2 out of 5 so far. Not really worth my time. I kind of wish I had my hour back. And I'm glad that Enlisted is dying for this. That's really